roads led to Bumba Beach in Samia in Busia County as hundreds of Kenyans thronged the lakeside to participate in the popular Samia Festival, which was filled with pomp and color. Take a look.
At the crack of dawn, Bumba Beach, usually quiet, is now filled with the chatter of hundreds of people. At 11 a.m., the Samia Festival begins. To start off, a wrestling match between Port Victoria and CO Port. After a nail-biting session, Port Victoria wins. After that, all eyes are on the lake as groups battle it out in the boat race, after which Team Obwabo takes the trophy. Besides wrestling and boat rowing, other competitions included dancing and taekwondo.
Tourism is not just about wildlife in the Mara, in the travel, in the Amboseli. There is more to tourism, and there are many unexploited resources across the country.
Samia Cultural Festival is an annual feat that falls on Boxing Day. Catherine Omwando, KTN.
Now, believers from all over the country trooped to Mount Kenya region where they held prayers at the foot of the mountain. In a sacred ritual, faithful drove the mountain anti-clockwise in vehicles strapped with blue ribbons. In the process, they stopped 7 times at various locations to pray. Traditional Agikuyu believe that God lives on the mountain, and the spokesman of the group, Professor Samuel Kanitha, called on Kenyans to hold dear their culture and their traditions. Across the borders now, Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni has said Ugandan troops will remain in South Sudan until Juba is secure. Ugandan troops have been in South Sudan where they went on the invitation of the Sudanese government. But as KTN's Edith Kimani reports, the presence has drawn sharp criticism from rebel leader and former Sudanese Vice President Riek Machar.
When fighting broke out in South Sudan last year, South Sudanese President Salva Kiir requested military backing from the Ugandan government. Yoweri Museveni honored the request, and Ugandan troops have been fighting alongside the now ruling Sudan People's Liberation Movement. Uganda says its troops will remain in South Sudan until Juba is secured by other regional troops. I think Ethiopian forces are already there, Yoweri Museveni said in a press conference on Friday. And Rwanda is there. Once they are ready and can ensure that at least Juba is not affected, then we shall go back. There is no big issue. But former South Sudanese Vice President Riek Machar sees it differently. In fact, the ex-deputy has threatened before to not continue with negotiations until the Ugandan troops pull out of South Sudan. But the South Sudanese government's position has been clear and unwavering. We cannot bow to Machar's pressure over Ugandan troops, South Sudan Vice President said in June. We are sovereign. We are free to invite any force from any country. Ugandan troops should not withdraw simply because the rebels' leaders have said so. South Sudan has been in strife since December last year, when President Salva Kiir claimed his sacked deputy turned rebel leader Riek Machar organized a coup. The fighting now threatens to spill over into a second year, despite the two warring sides twice announcing to the world they were committed to a peace deal. The country is preparing for its general elections next year. Edith Kimani, KTN.